हरे कृष्ण अमद्यास्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. We'll continue the discussion. This is a very interesting section. Our systematic bondage of how we got caught up in this material world. Because when we know the reason of our bondage, we'll by this we can understand how we can come out also. Everything will be very nicely explained, and Lord Kapila is taking full time and explaining all the things in much detail. This is one of the best explanations for creations and entanglement of living entities. Just two, three shlokas revision will do. Sound is one of the qualifications of sky and is a subject matter of for hearing. Similarly, touch is qualification of air and is subject of the touch sensation. The sense as whose object of perception is form, the distinctive characteristics of fire is a sense of sight, and the sense whose object of perception is taste, the distinguished character of water. Somebody is interested in making an animated movie on this. We should be able to explain in an animated way. For children, they'll appreciate, they'll be able to understand in very like I went one house and a devotee house, Mataji's initiated, and Roji is also devotee. Then the girl was maybe sixth class or something like that. I told, okay, creation comes like this. No? All there is a book also in that how from the Aditi, and other wives of Kashyapa, all the animals, creepers are coming. Then she told it's mythology. It is not true. Creation comes from amoeba. Now, because why? Because it is presented in a scientific way. Even though there is nothing scientific, you have presented it with some pictures and some writings, and it is taught in the school. They accept it as scientific, even though it is also equal amount of fiction. But here, this is called mythology, but that is called science. This is the hypocrisy of this modern people. They propagate it because they want people to remain materialistic and they wanted to grow the economy. Who sponsor all these things? All these materialistic, this corporate people only do all these things because if people remain like that, then the market will remain active and people start spending because they think the purpose of life is to enjoy. They don't think of anything higher. And here, all these things we have to explain in a very scientific way so that people understand it and they'll also appreciate. Okay. Yeah, if anybody from my side, any suggestions, I can. Rasayan Katha Bro is making animation, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam series. Any input from my side, I will definitely give. if need. And since the cause exists in its effect as well, this is also very nice understanding how the cause effect. This is also another problem with the scientists. They don't understand these things very clearly. But the cause is exists in the effect as well. The characteristics of the form are observed in later. That is why the peculiarity of all elements exists in the earth alone. So, and that is the sound is a cause of sky and all the qualities of there in the earth part. This is important thing to understand. And and then when all the elements are unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the origin of creation, along with the time, work, and qualities of modes of mental nature, entered into the universe with total material energy in seven divisions. This is very nice understanding. What he's telling, after starting the generation of causes, Kapildev speaks about generations of effect. These are the causes. And then at the time when the causes were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his feature of Garbhodak Sai Vishnu entered within each universe, accompanying him were all the seven primary elements, five material elements, the total energy, Mahatattva, and false ego. So, this, according to Prabhupada, these are the five things. Mahatattva is Chitta and Ahankara. That means we have five Panchamahabhutas, Chitta and Ahankara. Manas and Buddhi are the manifestation from it. That's why maybe it is seven. This entrance of Supreme Personality of God involves his entering even the atoms of material world. This is confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Andatarastha Paramanu Chayantra. He is not only within the universe, but within the atoms also. He is within the heart of every living entity. And from the seven principle resounds into activity and united by the presence of Lord, an unintelligent egg arose from which appears the celebrated cosmic being. This is Virat. This we have discussed. Is in sex life the combination of matter from the parents, which involves emulsification and secretion, creates the situation whereby a soul is received within matter. And the combination of matter gradually develops into a complete body. The same principle exists. Actually, whatever happens in there is our body, but there is cosmic body. We have connection with it. And the principles are also connected like that. We have to see the connection between us and the cosmic world also. Like this body, how the Merudanda, the back is actually, this is also called Merudanda, our spine, which has this Meru mountain, like that. And the activities, if you see also, that is also same thing. It is a combination, like whatever is happening. Here, the same principle exists in the universe of creation. It's a combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Without Purusha, Prakriti cannot do. The ingredients were present, but only when Lord entered into the material elements was matter actually agitated. Lord glances at it, then it gets agitated. Or he is entering also as Paramatma. This is a cause of creation. First he agitates the Mahatattva, then he enters as Paramatma. Both the things are two different activities Lord is doing. So when he when Mahavishnu glances, he is glancing on Prakriti. This is actually transforms into uh, Mahatattva. And now this Mahatattva it is generating all these seven elements. Now again Lord enters. Again Lord enters this with the help of this. He is with the help of this he is creating. So here these seven elements. When all these elements are unmixed, the supreme, the original, along with the time, work, and quality of modes of material nature enter into this universe. So it's again entering. Again here also time, origin of creation. Along with the time, work, that is karma, kala, and qualities of modes of material nature, guna. There is kala, karma, and guna. Entered into the universe with the total material energy in seven divisions. Their unmixed form is going to mix them. This is why these elements appeared and all this appeared. This is because of Mahavishnu glancing. From this all came from Mahatattva. Again, he is coming to make it combination. Now, because till now he spoke the cause. Cause were generation of cause is what? All this from Mahatattva to from Prakriti to Mahatattva, and then Mahatattva to all elements. Here elements are basically the Pancha Mahabhutas. That is what is explained, sound and all. Now, this is the cause. Now there is a generation of effect. Now the effect, how it is coming? Okay, now the causes are there, but Lord enters again to make the effect also. That is the point. Cause is also Lord, effect is also Lord. That's why. What is the problem with Abrahamic religion is they only say that the cause is Lord, but they don't see the effect is also Lord. They don't understand this concept. For us, Vaishnava Siddhanta, we say cause is also Lord, effect is also Lord. So both are Lord. When all the elements were unmixed, the Supreme Personality of God, the origin of creation, along with the time, work, and qualities, entered into the universe with the total material energy in 7 divisions. Like that. So at the time when the cause was unmixed, the Supreme Personality in future Garbhodhi entered into you. All the things are there, again he enters. That is in the form of Paramatma. Right? And this is what is here it is said that from the seven principle arose into activity the and united by the presence of Lord. Now the elements arose into activity and united. So two things happen: action and combination. When we combine the action, the variety increases. An unintelligent egg arose, which appeared as celebrated cosmic being. Unintelligent. That means it is unconscious in one way. Unintelligent means consciousness is not there. Why we are intelligence? Consciousness is there. That is a important factor. And the cause is here, the same principle exists. But only the Lord entered into the material elements was matter actually agitated. So here from this is the cause. And this is effect. Right? You're understanding? First the elements are created, that is the cause. Now after that again Lord enters to effect, make it up. We can see this in our ordinary experience. Although we may have clay, water and fire. So elements are there. But what is not there? Elements take shape as a brick only when we have labor to combine it. The Lord only created all these elements. He is the cause of creating elements. Now to make it into effect, then he enters into it to make into effect also. To create something with that, and Lord only has to do something with that. Without the living energy, because all these things is it's just some shape of egg, which is unintelligent. There is no possibility. Without living energy, there is no possibility that matter can take shape. Similarly, this material does not develop unless agitated with the Supreme Lord as Virata Purusha. Yasmat Udatishtati Asau Virat. By his agitation, space is created and the universal form of Lord also manifests there. And next loga is also very big. This universal egg or the universe in the shape of an egg is called the unmanifested material energy. Its layers of water, air, fire, sky, God, Mahatattva increase in thickness one after another. That means it is having the different layers. The universe is created with different layers here, but it is inactive. The elements are there. The layers are 10 times bigger than the previous one, and the final outside layer is covered by Pradhan. Within the egg is the universal form of Lord Hari, of those of whose body the 14 planetary systems are part. This huge egg with half water and then all the planetary systems. where Brahmaji is at the top. Now, this is what is it is having 7 layers. Now, the 7 layers we have discussed, they are not very gross, like not like Earth. If 10 times this Earth is covering the universe, we'll not be able to we will not be able to see the Brahma Jyoti, like why the sky is blue. The sky is blue because of Brahma Jyoti. Now this Brahma Jyoti, how it is able to enter if it is covered by this is uh, 4 billion yojanas, I think. This is this much size. Now 4 times 40 billion is the covering of Earth. If Earth is covered by 40 billion and it is like this Earth which you have mud, stone and all, no light will can come only. But because it is not this type of air, this is a subtle thing. This is much more subtler. And here is where Varahadev and Lakshmi stays, Varaha Lakshmi. And it gives such a great pleasure. And what is the pleasure at this type, at the level of earth? It is smell. If somebody want to experience great pleasure of scent, different varieties at highest level, and they can enjoy at this level of earth. This is the universe. This is the first covering earth. And comes the taste. This is water. Now, if somebody want to experience the highest pleasure in water, they have to go at this part. And here also living entity stays. It is not like this earth. I was telling, it's settled thing. Here also living entity exists in the covering. They experience a great amount of pleasure in taste. In this world also, the sense of touch, sense of smell, different living entities have some more experience. If you see, the dog has more sense of smell than humans. It can experience more pleasure in smell. Elephant and fish, their whole skin, it has so much pleasure in skin compared to humans. We don't have that much pleasure compared to an elephant or a fish. Uh, Fish, I think, taste. It has so much whole body it can taste. It has more taste. That's why it is its weakness is taste for fish. And for an elephant, it is sense of touch. All these things are the part of that means the subtler you go, the more we can experience the pleasure. So the pleasure, if somebody want pleasure with their uh, sense of smell, then this part of the creation, the where Varaha Dev is staying, because he is also representation of earth, right? And there he is, you can experience that pleasure. So this is very nicely explained in Brihad Bhagavatam also, where the experience of different pleasure you get. So this Brahmajyoti, it enters here because these layers are very subtle. That's why we are able to see Brahmajyoti. It comes as blue sky because it is penetrating through all these 7 layers. Still we are able to see, even though they are thicker and thicker, 10 times more, 10 times more. This is 40 billion. And then water is 400 billion. And then after that, then there is fire, air, ether. I told that this is the subtle energy. It is not very gross like that. And we'll see what Prabhupada also has some things. This universe or the universal sky, which we can visualize with its innumerable planets, is shaped like an egg. As an egg is covered by a shell, the universe is also covered by various layers. The first layer is water, and the next is fire, then air, sky, and ultimate holy crust is Pradhan. First layer is actually earth. After earth is what? Within this egg-like universe is the universal form of Lord as the Virata Purusha. So here it's an imaginary form. All the different planetary systems are part of his body. This is already explained in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam second canto. The planetary systems are considered to form different bodily parts of the universal form of the Lord. Persons who cannot directly engage in the worship of transcendental form of Lord are advised to think and worship this universal form. So people who cannot understand Supreme Lord directly, for them this is recommended. Okay, at least meditate on Uranus. The lowest planetary system, Patala, is considered to be the soul of Supreme Lord, and the earth is considered to be the belly of the Lord. Brahma Loka, the highest planetary system where Brahma lives, is considered to be the head of Lord. Virata Purusha, Virat Rupa is considered an incarnation of Lord. The original form of Lord is Krishna, as confirmed in Brahma Samhita. Adi Purusha. This is There are innumerable expansions, and now here Prabhupada writes, the dimensions of universe are estimated here. The outer covering is made of layers of water, air, sky, fire, ego, and Mahatattva, and each layer is 10 times greater than the previous one. The space within the hollow of the universe cannot be measured by any human scientist or anyone else, and beyond the hollow there are 7 coverings, each one 10 times greater than the one preceding it. The layers of water is 10 times greater than the diameter of the universe, and the layers of fire is 10 times greater. Similarly, the layer of air is 10 times greater. Now, what scientists see with their telescope and all, it is not very clear what they are seeing. They will say innumerable universes, galaxies and all. But we cannot, because our eyes are has limitation. Even though the machine may be correct, but what I get through eyes is limited knowledge. Within that, they are calculating something. We have to go with Bhagavatam. These dimensions are inconceivable to tiny brain of human being, that we have to understand. It is also stated that this description is of only one egg-like universe. That is the point. There are innumerable like that, many times greater than and all. Next look as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Virata Purusha, situated within the golden egg, which was lying in the water, and he divides it into many departments. First of all, mouth appeared in him. So now how this Virata is manifesting. First, mouth appeared, and then came forth the organ of speech, and within it the god of fire, the deity who presides over that organ. Then a pair of nostrils appeared. So whatever appears in the universe, it is appearing in a micro level and macro level, both. It has a connection. Our body has direct connection with the universal form also in that way. Because their eyes are there, I also have eyes. Their ears are there, we are also. So the pair of nostrils appeared, then olfactory senses, olfactory senses, and as well as the prana, the vital air. And air has connection with us. That's why we have to do pranayama. This is how the system is. This and when the manifestation of speech, fire are being manifested, and with the manifestation of nostrils, vital air, the breathing process, the sense of smell also became manifested. Now it says, in the wake of olfactory sense came the wind god, who presides over the senses. For mouth, it is fire god. We put in the and here it is wind god. Thereafter, a pair of eyes appeared. Now they are not the deities, demigod who are. They are like not that Vayudev now presently who is in Indra Loka. He is having his own Loka. These are more subtler and they are like they are called what much more subtle. Thereafter, a pair of eyes appeared in the universal form, and in that, the sense of sight. The wake of the sense came the sun god, who presides over the. Next, there appeared in him a pair of eyes, eyes, in them the auditory senses, and this is Dig Devatas, or the deities who preside over them. Now, Prabhupada has some nice things to say. He says the appearance of different bodily parts of the Lord's universal form and the appearance of the presiding deities of those bodily parts is being described. As in the womb of mother, a child gradually grows different bodily parts, so in the universal womb, the universal form of Lord gives rise to the creation of various paraphernalia. Very nice. Like say, we are getting in the womb of mother as we get in the womb, like Prabhupada, as we get in the womb of mother different, because it's just a lump, and slowly nine holes appears in that. When we enter into the womb, we entered as a lump. Nine holes come, and slowly the nine holes starts growing. Some grow as eyes, nostrils, and all these things. The child gradually grows different bodily parts. So, and now the universal egg also, the Virat Purusha is there, but he's in a lump. Now slowly it is growing, gives rise to creation of various paraphernalia. The senses appear, and over each of them there is presiding deity. It is corroborated by the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam and also by Brahma Samhita that the sun appears after the appearance of eyes in the universal form of the Lord. The sun is dependent on eyes of the universal form. The Brahma Samhita also says that sun is the eye of the Supreme Personality of God. Chakshuresa Savita. Sun is the eye of Supreme Lord. Actually, everything is created by the universal body of Supreme God. Material energy is simply supplier of materials. This is also, everything is created by the universal body. That means this is a combination of elements. Please try to understand what is that Virata Purusha. Is a person? No, it's a combination of elements only. They formed it. Like this body. The soul entered, as soon as the soul entered, then this body start taking shape. How did this shape come from? Where is this shape? It is a combination of elements only. Same thing is happening at the universal level. Because Paramatma entered, the elements start taking shape. Shape of eyes, nose, mouth, ears. They are just combining. That's all. The elements, the cause is there. Now the effect is also seen. This is very important to understand for us that, like in the womb, now what happened in the womb of father? The father gave seed. Father gives seed, and then the elements combine to form body. This is actually what happens in the womb of mother, right? Now the seed is first entered. Only when seed enters, the elements in the mother's womb, whatever she is eating, earth, water, fire, air, they are combining to form a body. Same thing at the universal egg also. Now this is the universal egg. So then the Supreme Lord, yes, Paramatma, he enters. And then the elements, the seven elements, they combine to form what? Universal body. You're understanding. So here it is a combination. What happened in the womb of mother is a combination, and we are getting this body. Similarly, in the universal egg also, actually first happened there, and it is happening in the womb of mother. So originally it is in the universal egg. Supreme Lord enters as Paramatma, and all the seven elements start combining, and they are forming all these things. Material nature simply a supplier of materials. The creation is actually done by the Supreme Lord as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Maya Dikshena Prakriti. Under my direction. Clear, no? It is very simple to understand. Now, then the universal form of Lord, the Virata manifests his skin, and thereupon the hair, mustache, and beard appeared. After this, all the herbs and drugs becomes manifest, and then his genitals also appeared. The same thing. So here, the Paramatma is combining all this, and now this is all called effect. Previously, the elements are cause, and this is the effect. So, because the skin is the site of a touch sensation. The demigods who control the production of herbs and medical herbs and the deities presiding over the tactile senses. They also appeared. After this, the semen, faculty of procreation, the god who presiding over the waters appeared. Next appeared an anus, and then the organs are defection. And thereupon the god of death, who feared throughout the universe. Prabhupada's writing, it is understood herewith that the faculty to discharge semen is the cause of death. Therefore, yogis and transcendentalists who want to live for greater span of life voluntarily restrain themselves from discharge of semen. The more one can restrain the discharge of semen, the more one can be aloof from the problems of death. There are many yogis live up to 300 or 700 years by this process. And in Bhagavatam it is clearly stated that discharge of semen is the cause of horrible death. The more one is addicted to sex enjoyment, the more one susceptible to the quick death. So it is very important for us. Somebody want to live for long, they have to practice. Thereafter, the two hands of the universal form of the Lord becomes manifested, and with them the power of grasping and dropping things. And after that Lord Indra appeared for the hands. Next the legs became manifested, and then the process of movements. And after that Lord Vishnu appeared. For legs it is Vishnu. Now here the presiding deity over hands is Indra, the presiding deity of the movements is the personality of God Vishnu. Vishnu appeared on the appearance of the legs of Virata Purusha. Here it is all talking about karmendriyas. The veins of the universal body became manifest, and thereupon the red corpuscles or caps, corpuscles or blood in that in their wake came rivers and deities presiding over veins, and they appeared an abdomen. Blood veins are compared to rivers. When the veins were manifested in the universal form, the rivers in the various planets were also manifested. The controlling deity of rivers is also the controlling deity of nervous system. In Ayurvedic treatment, those who are suffering from disease of nervous instability are recommended to take bath by dipping in a flowing river. Wow. Somebody has some now so many people have this nervous instability. They're having psychological problem. They can take bath in Ganges regularly. Next grew few feelings of hunger and thirst, and in their way came the manifestation of the oceans. Then a heart became manifest, and in the wake of heart, the mind appeared. Wow. No. Now, if you want to treat yourself, we should know which part is in problem and which deity is for that. That's why they worship all these presiding deities. Take their help to cure that part. For us, it is all Supreme Lord only it is coming. So we'll just accept the Supreme Lord's mercy and go ahead. The ocean is considered a presiding deity of domain. When the feeling of hunger and thirst originate, when there is an irregularity in hunger and thirst, one is advised to, according to either, take bath in ocean. Because the presiding deity is that you go and do it. Why we get problems with this different organs and different parts is we have committed some offenses to that. Offenses means some sort of mischief we did. Now, when we take bath there, we are accepting, we are as one type of forgiveness. Okay, okay. I am treating them in a respectful way. That's why we get cured. We have to deal with Prakriti in a very, very proper way. If we don't do, if we are not living in harmony, like nowadays people, the way they are doing, they are defiling the nature's laws, and because of which they are going to get so many types of diseases. Now people live long, but they live diseased. That is the problem. They may live at least till 90 years also. You can put them in a, what do you call, artificially, you can keep the body. All these pipes, this, that, they can use in ICUs. They can keep the body. But thing is, they are diseased. And they are diseased from the age of 30 only. That means next 50 years, you will live a very diseased life. We live long, but diseases are there in the body. That is the point. Why? Because we are not going according to the nature. That's why Prabhupada is telling, according to Ayurveda, this. Because if we, like the food which we are eating, we have to go according to the Ayurveda, according to the nature. We should not create artificial things. All this genetically modified and all, it is going against the nature, and the nature will punish. Then you are creating an offense to the nature. What to do? Again, go surrender. That is why, like they are trying to take, milk is considered the most harmless food, but now it is becoming the most sinful food because they are trying to take the milk from cow. Along with that, if the cow is unhappy, the food which comes from cow is also not very safe. And then the milk, when they are taking from the machines, they remove the milk from cow. Along with that, blood also comes, and so many other things happen. And this is actually very sinful, and we are going to get reactions for it. That's why you want to come out of reaction again with the same thing you tried working. Somebody want to change their karma. Best thing to change karma is to feed cows. That is the recommendation. Somebody, instead of going to this puja, that puja, Shani puja, this puja, if you really want to change karma, the easiest, fastest way, feeding cows. Like one of my friend was there. He's so much into non-vegetarian. And then he started serving cows. And he just called me recently, said, Roji, from 1 month, I did not touch non-veg. And he's not feeling to eat also. Maybe slowly he'll get. He could immediately change that habit. He said that is very difficult for him. He knows it is not correct, but he could not give for, I think, 2 years. I know him from more than 2 years. He didn't do. But as soon as he started serving, he attended Bhagavad Gita, he came for Vrindavan also. But this habit was not going for him. As soon as he started serving cows, immediately he could give it up. Because cows, they change our karma very fast. Yeah. After the mind, the moon appeared. Intelligence appeared next. After intelligence, Lord Brahma appeared. Then the false ego appeared, and then Lord Shiva. And after that, the appearance of Lord Shiva came consciousness, and the deity presiding over consciousness. So this egg, which is coming, like in the womb, the egg comes. It is no intelligence. Nothing is it. Spread. When the Paramatma enters into it, it starts functioning, and everything is started coming in it. Like the moon appeared from the appearance of mind. Like now, the ovum is there in the mother's womb, but only when the egg enters, it starts functioning. Otherwise, it's dead. Like the mother appeared from the after the appearance of mind. And this indicates that moon is the presiding deity of mind. Similarly, that's why on Purnima day, people who have mental problems, they become more active. It's very difficult to control. Lord Brahma appeared after intelligence. He is the presiding deity of intelligence. Lord Shiva, who appeared after false ego, is the presiding deity of false ego. In other words, it is indicated that the moon god is in mode of goodness, whereas Lord Brahma is in mode of passion, Lord Shiva in ignorance. The appearance of consciousness after the appearance of false ego indicates that from the beginning, material consciousness is under the mode of ignorance, and that one therefore has to purify oneself by purifying his consciousness. Oh, very nice point. So, what Prabhupada is telling here, the appearance of consciousness after the appearance of false ego indicates that from the beginning, material consciousness is under the mode of ignorance. Now, whatever consciousness we have is controlled by ignorance, and therefore has to now we are in an ignorant consciousness. Consciousness is there, but we are ignorant also. And there one therefore has to purify himself by purifying his consciousness. So it is ignorant consciousness. This purificatory process is called Krishna consciousness. As soon as consciousness is purified, false ego disappears. Identification of body with the self is called false identification or false ego. Lord Chaitanya confirms this in his Sikshashtakam. He states that the first result of chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, is that dirt is cleansed from the consciousness of the mirror of mind. First is this should be cleaned. Cheto Darpana Marchana. And then at once the blazing fire of mental existence is over. The blazing fire of mental existence is due to false ego, but as soon as the false ego is removed, one can understand the real identity. At the point he is actually liberated from the clutches of Maya. As soon as one is free from the clutches of false ego, his intelligence also becomes purified, and then his mind is always engaged upon the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as full moon day as Gaura Sundara or the spotless transcendental moon. The metal moon has spots, but Lord does not have spots. Those who are materially passionate or those who want to exhibit their intelligence for material advancement in life are generally worshippers of Lord Brahma. And persons who are gross ignorance of identity with body worship Shiva. At least like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, they worship Brahma, Shiva. But Prahlad and other devotees in the service of Krishna consciousness worship the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead. Yeah, this is very important. Prabhupada writes, in order to fix the purified mind in the service of Supreme Lord, one has to worship the spotless moon, that is Gaura Sundara. When the demigods and presiding deities of various senses were thus manifested, they wanted to wake their origin of appearance. But upon failing to do so, they re-entered the body of Virata Purusha, one after another, in order to wake him. Now, in order to wake the sleeping deity, the Virata is sleeping within, one has to uh, rechannel the sense activities from concentration on the outside of concentration to the concentration inside. In following verse, the sense activities which are required to wake the Virata Purusha will be explained very nicely. This is also very nice point. One has to rechannel the sense activities from concentration on outsider to concentration. Like say now some of my senses have problem. What is to be done? You have to meditate on it. Then you can start healing it. Like some part digestion is bad or some elements in the body. Like yogis do this. They internally they meditate and clean themselves. They don't go to doctors because in Himalayas you don't find many doctors. The god of fire entered his mouth with the organ of speech, but the Virata could not arose. Now the Tishtati Virat. Oh, then the god of wind entered in his nostrils with the sense of smell, but still Virata refused to be awakened. This is वह निर्वाचा मुखम भेजे नोदतिष्ठति तद्विराट ग्राणेन नासिके वायुर्नोदतिष्ठति तद्विराट अक्षिणी चक्षुषादित्यो नोदतिष्ठति तद्विराट स्तोत्रम कर्णो च दिशो नोदतिष्ठति तद्विराट. The sun entered the eyes and of the Virata with the sense of sight, but still Virata did not get up. Similarly, the predominating deity of the directions entered through his ears with the sense of hearing, but still he did not get up. Tvacham bromabhirasokshadhyo nodatishtadi tadvirat vedasa sishun sheshu na apastu nodatishtatan. The predominating deities of skin, herbs, and seasons, planets entered the skin of the Virata Purusha with the hair of the body, but the cosmic being refused to get up. Even then, the god predominating over water entered his organ of generation with the faculty of procreation, but the Virata still would not arise. Prabhupada didn't give any purport. He just and then Gudam Mitrau Apnena Nodatiштati Tat Virat Hasta Indro Balenaiva Nodatiштati Tat Virat. The god of death entered his anus with the organ of defection, that the Virata Purusha could not be spurred to activity. The god of Indra entered the hands with their power of grasping and dropping things, but the Virata would not get up. विष्णुर्गायव चरणो नोदतिष्ठतद्विराट्नाधिर् नज्जोल्लोकितेन नोदतिष्ठत्. Here Vishnu is a demigod. That's what we heard from Vishnu Chakravarti. Entered his feet of faculty, but the Virata did not stand. Then the river entered his blood vessels and circulation, but did not come. And the ocean entered his abdomen with hunger and thirst, but the cosmic being refused to get raised. The moon entered his heart with the mind, but the cosmic did not come. Brahma entered with intelligence, but nothing happened. Rudra entered, nothing happened. Then, however, when the inner controller, the deity presiding over consciousness, entered the heart with reason, at that very moment, cosmic being arose from the causal ocean. So, this is actually what happened. When the man is sleeping, all his material senses, namely the vital energy, the senses for recording knowledge, the sense of working, the mind and intelligence cannot arouse him. He can be aroused only by the super soul himself. Super soul helps him. Oh, this is very important. Like when we sleep in the night, all the material assets, that is vital energy, sense of recording knowledge, sense of working, mind and intelligence. Vital energy is prana, sense of recording energy, recording knowledge, that is our chitta. And then manas and buddhi cannot arouse, but only the super soul helps. The explanation of Sankhya philosophy is described here in detail in the sense of that the Virata Purusha, the universal form of the Supreme Personality of God, is the original source of all various sense organs and their presiding. The relationship between the Virata Purusha and presiding deities of or the living entities is so intricate that simply by exercising the sense organs which are related to the presiding deities, the Virata cannot be aroused. It is not possible to arouse the Virata Purusha or to link with the Supreme Absolute Personality of Godhead by material activities. Only by devotional service and detachment can one perform the process of linking with the absolute. So this is also very important point. Only by devotional service and detachment can one perform the process of linking with the absolute. Thereafter, through devotional detachment and advancement in spiritual knowledge acquired through concentration, concentrated devotional service, one should contemplate that super soul as present in within body, although simultaneously part of it. The last purport we just complete. One can realize the super soul within oneself. He is within one's body, but apart from the body or transcendental to the body. Although sitting in the same body as the individual soul, the super soul has no affection for body, whereas the individual soul does. One has to detach himself, therefore, from this material body to by discharging devotional service. It is clearly mentioned here, bhaktya, that one has to execute devotional service to the Supreme as it is stated in first canto. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita. This can be simply, this is achieved simply by devotional service Supreme Lord. When one is detached from the attractions of material prosperity, one can actually concentrate his mind upon Super Soul. This detachment helps us concentration on material prosperity. We may have material prosperity, but we should be detached. As long as mind is distracted towards material, there is no possibility of concentrating one minds on the an intelligence of Supreme Lord or its partial representative Super Soul. In other words, one cannot concentrate one mind and energy on the Supreme unless one is detached from material world. That is very important. Asanga Shastrena Dridena Chitva. What is that weapon? That is Asanga. The detachment is the weapon. Following detachment from the material world, one can actually attain transcendental knowledge of the absolute truth. As long as one is entangled in the sense enjoyment or material enjoyment, it is not possible to understand absolute truth. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, one who is free from material contamination is joyful and can enter into devotional service, and by devotional service, he can be liberated. And Prabhupada writes Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that one becomes joyful by discharging devotionals. In that joyful attitude, one can understand the signs of God or Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, not possible. Will understand only in a joyful, no complaint, no grudges, joyful attitude. The analytical study of elements of material nature and concentration of mind upon the super soul are the sum and substance of Sankhya philosophy. The perfection of the Sankhya Yoga culminates in devotional service onto the absolute truth. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of third canto, 26th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature. So, this is how we are all entangled successfully. Now we'll see how to come out of it. Thank you all very much. We have some questions. Yes, Prabhuji. Their question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Dhanad.
Prabhu, Prabhu, we come across terms like predominating deities, presiding deities, worshipful deities. So these three indicates three different personality, or how it is?
Predominating deities and presiding deities, no, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu. And worshipful deity also we come across.
They are different in the sense like it is so means it is not like for people who are having demigod worship, they worship all this preside. The original deity is Lord Vishnu in for every case. It is Anuruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. All the four deities are the main deities. And then here we have Shiva, Brahma, and Chandra, and then for Buddhi, it is Brahma. For Manas, it is Chandra. For Ahankar, it is this is Lord Shiva, and Chitta, it is Vishnu. So they worship these demigods. But people understand, okay, beyond that there is Supreme Lord, they worship them. Like now, when we see in the government department, we have some people who are working at our level, but there are higher people, there are ministers who are controlling that department. There is a water department, we have a manager here or somebody who is doing man, and but there is a minister for water department, and above them there is prime minister also. So at different levels, you have some people who are taking care of the department. So it's like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
The original people for all the universe they are controlling. The Vasudev is the feature of Chitta for all the universes. At that particular universe, there is some Vishnu form who is taking care. And there for that particular Brahma, Shiva, and there may be for that particular.
Thank you, bro. Thank you very much.
Okay, this is a revision you already heard from Balaram Shakti Prabhu, but some more things which Prabhupada gave. He gave very insightful, maybe only this chapter. That's why Prabhupada wrote Teachings of Lord Kapila, some of the things which are very, very deep by Lord Kapila. It's a very interesting canto. We have so much information from Bhagavatam, which is very helpful for realization. Thank you all very much.